It's Tabletop Time!
I'm Murray.
I'm Jen.
I'm Jazza.
I'm Dave, and with me to my right, we have Dragon.
Hello. Welcome.
Welcome.
Very excited to be here.
Special guest for a few episodes and some fun new characters to meet.
Indeed.
So, let's jump into it.
Yeah, so just to kick things off, we want to let everyone know that this is being recorded to a live YouTube audience. If you'd like to join us, you can join in on the live fun. Our streams are weekly. Everything's in the description. And if you would also like to become a member, you get access to some awesome stuff. It's all down below. Just go check it out.
And after party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Woohoo.
Who's next?
Friendly reminder that we're also a podcast. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, and more. Great to listen to while you travel, eat, work, rest, or sleep.
Oh, that thing. No, you're not allowed to do it. I'm meant to do it. We're a podcast. And I'm meant to be, I'm reading this thing and I'm this is hard. I don't know how Jazza does it every week.
So yeah, I'm splitting the load because I'm here next week, but then I'm away for a month.
We have to learn how to run the
I'm
machines.
trying to hands off a little bit.
I'm about as good a button pusher as Jack Post. Jen will get that joke.
I laughed and didn't get it.
Jack Post.
Because I'm polite like that.
Just want to hurt your feelings.
This video and episode and everything we do on this channel is brought to you courtesy of our patrons. Thank you, patrons, for your incredible support. And of course, a reminder, if you want to support us, Patreon is the most direct and supportive way to do that. You get awesome access to after parties, private communities, weekly game dev, all sorts of things at different tiers. But it really is a huge help. Thank you, patrons.
And a very special current thing that patrons get access to is also our Gateway Roleplay dev. We're playing today in the prototype Gateway Roleplay, which is a game that we're developing. And if you'd like to learn the basics of how this system works, there is a video link in the description where we kind of just introduce the system and run through it. And if you'd like to learn more, go to gatewayroleplay.com. And if you want to get access to our weekly dev blogs, there is a tier on Patreon that gets that. Otherwise, we're doing general updates on Patreon as to how we're going. And there's one due to go out very soon.
We drop so much every week.
Patreon is just loaded.
Yeah. It was like last week you sent out 4 videos.
It was 4 videos on Monday. It was a bit of
separate. Like they're not just 4 of the same. They're all 4 uniquely different.
4 posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. We love it. You love it. You will love it. Or else.
Get used to an hour and a half unedited game development blog with Jazza and Dave. Okay. But speaking of an hour and a half of unedited content, let's start our role play. So we have to pick up our story. So it has been an excitable few nights as our young players, Cody, Callum, and Melvin, experienced their first couple of hours playing Gateway Roleplay with the older brother of Callum, Dylan. Their first session was a learning experience with this new game, but they've been eagerly awaiting the next session. There's been some bargaining, been some begging, and been some arranging for Dylan to run a second session that very weekend, but he's been busy around town and has only committed to a very late afternoon session, complaining about a potential hangover. The kids don't really know what that means. But
how old is he?
He's 16, but he's a delinquent. Dylan is a 16-year-old bad boy. So it's the 80s. Yeah. He's drinking underage. He's not a good role model, everyone. Look at the guy. But
it's trouble when his collar's popped.
Oh, his collar is popped. So he had a whole wine cooler.
Denim collar.
So
bam.
And it is late afternoon in Callum's house. Callum is sitting there. What is Callum doing?
So Callum has been sort of poring over his character sheet and kind of thinking, oh, maybe I could change these things, but I don't know. But he remembers there's something really important that he's got to do. Someone's coming. So he's got to get ready and get all the books out and get paper, water, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Callum, has been awaiting an expected guest. There has been a little arrangement, an agreement that certain people will go overlooked, provided that certain favors are done. But it's best for us to see that arrangement as the door knocks.
These sound effects are out of this world.
Yeah, I guess that's him. Yeah, okay.
Callum goes to the front door, and we meet a rather large, for his age, boy. Tall, broad, big. One that the gang bumped into in the first episode in the corridor. It's Todd. I'm going to let Todd introduce himself.
So Todd is a fairly large, not necessarily like well defined, like sort of like pudgy boy. Sort of a weird like business sort of sensible cut going on, considering he's wearing like sort of the like, you know, sort of Nelson from Simpsons sort of denim vest and band shirt. Yeah, he just sort of like looks in sort of with this like half look of uncomfortable, but also trying to seem like he doesn't care about being there. It's just like, hey, yeah, your mum let me in. She said to be up here.
Hey, Todd. Well, let's get started, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. So what is it you're having trouble with?
And he like opens up his bag and like pulls out a few of these like really, what are surprisingly pristine books. It's like, I had some, what's it called? Algebra.
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 Yes,
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Look, take a seat. Just I'll set up the desk and stuff, and we can get started. And Callum opens up books and starts helping.
And for the next 40 or so minutes, the pair study. A rather unexpected situation. No one at school would have expected to see them together, and I believe it is kept fairly quiet that this arrangement is going on. After that time passes and some learning is done, another excited young adventurer arrives at the front door in the form of Melvin Mendoza.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just sort of make my way in. I'm fairly known here, so I don't really knock as others go. However, I'm just going to, basically just brief, knock on the door, and then make my way in. I'll just look around, Callum's probably in his room, so I'm going to make my way there. So surreptitiously hiding something sort of within my jacket. And I'll head on up to Callum's room.
Melvin arrives at the door to Callum's room. Callum, describe your room. What kind of environment are these young lads in?
Oh, no. Okay, so Callum's room is pretty neat, honestly, for like a high school kid. Like he keeps things very orderly, very clean. So like if his mum or his dad walks in, like they're not going to be like, you didn't make your bed again. Like he tries to stay out of trouble. There's a couple of nerdy posters. There's a couple of very specific band posters as well. He's really into Michael George at the moment.
George
Michael. Gets confusing.
My brain finished and went Michael Georgian.
Yeah.
Sorry, all I got is Arrested Development. George Michael.
Exactly. But otherwise, everything's pretty neat, pretty ordinary, honestly. There's nothing too personality-wise aside from the posters. But even then, they're very straight, very kept, very, very clean and very pristine.
And almost way too late to give any functional announcement. A cry comes up the corridor. Callum, your friends are here. Just sort of this shrill from out sort of halfway through the garden. And you can hear in the background there's the sound of like a lawnmower going on the Sunday. And you know your mum and dad are in the backyard. They're always sort of just out of sight for the group, but always there.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
I'm at the corridor here. Thanks, Mrs. Anderson. I know the way.
Sorry, my friend's, he's just going to hang out for a few minutes and then we can wrap this up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, if he asks or anything, like I'm just,
Oh yeah.
just hanging out. With
Yeah,
him.
it's chill, man. It should hopefully be fine. Yeah, I hope. Anyway,
Melvin pops into the room. Melvin and Todd, you've seen each other before a few times. Melvin, of course, being the burgeoning drama kid in the year level who, up until now, things are starting to change in the late year of middle school, but Melvin was definitely one of the boys that a lot of the sort of young girls had like puppy love crushes on. But now he's sort of becoming a drama kid, and like things are changing. Kids are starting to develop and change their tastes and go, oh, the cool bad boys and all that. And so you kind of recognize him from around the traps, but he's not really popular or unpopular. He just kind of gets by at the school. Okay. So you see him hanging around with Callum, who's more obviously nerdy, but Callum's older brother's pretty cool. So these people aren't social like viruses to be around just yet.
This is like, I feel like Melvin's sort of like he's like the pretty boy. Like, as I said, he's like, sort of, I'm just like, oh, okay, you're a pretty boy.
There's definitely a bit of that. Sort of stick my head around the door and say, hey, Callum, and, Todd?
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Yeah, we're just,
he's just borrowing some stuff. It's cool. I'll meet you downstairs.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll be down there.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
See you.
All right, nice.
So, duck head back out.
Yes, I think we're pretty much almost done for the day. And Calvin starts like putting some papers together, and he has his character sheet underneath all the papers as well.
What what are you guys doing today? Like, it seems like if you got Melvin here and stuff, have you got other people?
Oh, yeah, look, it's we're just playing a stupid game. It's just a thing. Yeah, and you wouldn't want to be interested. I don't think it's like,
I mean, like, I've got to wait for my mom to like pick me up and stuff. So I'd like, I'd be interested to see what.
Oh, I don't think you'd want to. It's like owls and dragons and.
Okay. Is your brother running it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is.
I need to talk to him actually. So like
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool.
I'd love to like
All right. We'll head down. We'll go downstairs. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to chat. I'll just pop it. I just need to ask Dylan for a favor. He owes me lunch money. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people probably owe you lunch money. Yeah, of course. We'll head downstairs.
All right, you head downstairs, and one of the downstairs bedrooms, the furthest away from the master bedroom, looms at the end of a long corridor. And there is a keep out posted very neatly on the front. In the distance, you can already hear rumbling through the floor, the heavy bass notes, some music.
We head down.
All right, you approach the corridor. The music gets louder, thumping through the walls. The door sits.
Okay. Callum knocks on his door. Oh my god! Dylan, you're right. You okay, man? Do you know?
That scene from Hot Rod when he's like flipping over trees and stuff.
There is the sound.
Just what like Todd just leans over and goes, "It's this new band Iron Maiden. I don't think they'll take off."
There is the sound of a record scratch as the music stops and the door swings wide open to reveal Callum's older brother Dylan, who is in a disheveled state of semi-dress. He's got sort of pants sitting low around his waist with like a t-shirt pulled on, a white stained t-shirt from the day before. There's like clearly spill marks down the front of it. His arm is like, he's currently pushing his arm violently through what looks like the neck hole of the shirt and like awkwardly putting it on. What the hell? What time do you call this? God damn it, Callum.
It's time to play. I mean, it's the time you organized that we could,
Who the...
Oh, and this is Todd. Todd's here, by the way.
Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Todd?
Aren't you the linebacker's little brother?
Yeah, that's me.
Right. What's he here for?
Lunch money.
No, like I just we were talking about that thing, you know.
Oh, yeah, he's kind of interested in the...
Whoa. And he, like, shakes his head a little bit, clenches his fist, and pushes it, like, smacks the side of his fist into the doorway. Not super hard, but a little bit firmly, and straightens himself up, builds his posture up a bit, and he's like, you joking about the lunch money, Callum?
Callum looks at Todd and then looks back at Dylan.
Todd sort of looks up and he's like, yeah, Callum, Joker, like major Joker like that. Just, it's like the... no, I was just... Callum's been talking about this game, this thing that you guys do, and I don't know, it seemed like at least a decent way to pass time until Mum gets home.
Yeah.
Mum gets here to pick me up. So.
It's totally lame, though, right, Dylan? Totally not a thing. Bro.
Not until you pay the toll. But if he's giving you trouble...
No, not at all, man.
All right. Well, you know what I want?
Cheeseburger by the
And you
sound of
kind
it.
of like, it's almost like you can't look into his room. Like he is silhouetted into this room, and it is like an abyss of blackness falling behind him. There's posters on the walls, but that's like the peripherals of them is all you can see. There's a haze of smoke like floating around the floor of the room. There's detritus and blankets. The windows. The curtains have had like sheets stapled into the walls over the curtains. Like it's blacked out this room completely.
I'm having flashbacks. I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
Are you coming or what?
I said, you know what I want. I don't got what I want.
All right. Well, come downstairs at least. I think
Downstairs
Melvin,
again to the
Melvin-
basement? Why are we going to the basement?
because we're playing the game, dude. I think Melvin's got what you need.
Oh, we're going to play it in the basement. We could just play it in the kitchen.
Whatever.
Oh, let's do it in the basement.
Okay.
Oh, but Melvin's got the stuff.
I'll go check.
All right, and you're playing too, right?
Yeah.
Your friend's playing as well.
Yeah, I'd check it out.
It's fine, I've got a
Yes.
character.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I guess that's fine.
Awesome. It's settled. Give me a minute. He turns around, slams the door shut.
Well, I guess you're playing then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just for the time being,
Yeah,
I don't want to, but
yeah.
it's like
Time. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Just-
right.
see
Cool.
what you guys get up to.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know.
And we'll head down to the basement.
You head down to the basement, and about 5 solid minutes later, Dylan shuffles down the stairs with some books, lazily throws them out on the pool table where you'll be playing, because there's no table in the basement. Pulls up a couple of stools. All right, so here's your character sheet, Todd. Basically, look, I'll kind of explain as you go, but you roll the dice, just mix. I'll tell you what to roll. You pick one, I say one, we combine them, you roll them. Anything over 4 is a win. I'll say how many you need. It's easy.
Okay. I know how to do this.
Okay. Hey, Melvin, did you bring the stuff?
Yeah. I've got it.
And pay the toll.
Walk over to Dylan and sort of from inside the jacket sort of pull out a large bottle. So it's the hardest part isn't taking it, it's making it look like it wasn't missing.
Oh, dude, that's a cab sav. That's there. Nice. Nice.
How the hell do you know what that is? Callum, you're not drinking, are you?
No.
You better not be.
No, like, Dad, Mom, they
Yeah.
do the whole like, oh, you don't want this. Oh.
You're too young for that stuff, and your head's screwed on right. Don't go Don't go following your older brother.
Gee, I wonder
You
when
behave.
Cody's getting here as well.
Oh,
It's
I'm
it's
glad if
pretty
he
late.
doesn't get here. Oh my god. But just seriously, Callum, like, you got a future ahead of you, man. Don't drink.
Yeah, I won't.
And
This is cooking wine. What the hell? Oh god, it'll do.
Good. Sorry. Wait. Cody's coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cody's part of this little thing going
And
on.
almost as if on cue.
Door slams upstairs. You hear like this running around. Fine, Mrs. Mendoza, I'll fix that when you leave tomorrow. Like running downstairs and like slides, like half jump and half slides down the steps. Like, I am so ready, you guys. I'm sorry I'm late and I can't. Holy pig on a spit roast.
Rails.
What is he doing here?
What is he doing here?
What do you mean? What am I doing here?
I mean, like, right? You're
What?
playing with
Oh,
this.
it's the tutoring
Oh,
thing,
my
right?
little kid
Yeah.
brother dragged him along.
I thought you hadn't told him. We were meant to have like a
I mean,
secret thing.
yeah, we did, and then you
You
want.
guys don't have a thing? What thing are you talking about? This
oh
is
my
my
God.
thing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god!
God.
You invited the Todd.
I didn't invite either of you. Pretty sure I invited my little bro and Melvin. Melvin's all right.
I like lean in, try and like edge Todd out and like to look at like the OG group. And I'm like, surely we would discuss the party if we open up to outsiders or modify the way that we are going to play.
Look,
this is a substantial change,
Dude.
one with an impact that would...
Dude, it's fine. It's just one session, just one time.
He had my head in a toilet bowl last week.
Yeah, well, he's not gonna do that now, is he?
I thought it'd clean your hair out. I'm sorry. It's just the color. It's very intense.
Look. Callum takes Cody to the side and kind of says, "Look, maybe this is your chance,
He's
man.
playing the nice guy, like, oh yeah, I'm so reasonable in front of everyone else.
But dude, you're so good
You know
at
that
role.
black eye I had last month? You know where I got that? That guy.
Yeah, but this could be your chance.
Chance for what?
Show him how cool you are at doing this.
He's not cool.
I didn't ask your opinion.
Some of it, like, he steps over it, like, I'll say Todd's just going to step over and, like, very overstepping the boundaries of it, like, sort of, grab Cody's shoulders and be like, Cody, come on. We can be civil here. Like, just, I'm just
don't even
hanging
know
out
if
with
I
you. I'm
can
just
trust you to have a respect for the sacred experience of roleplay.
I'll
It requires
respect
the
you.
vulnerability of participants, and I simply can't bring myself to be...
Sorry, I can't take this. Look,
He's laughing.
look. We can get through this. I'm just hanging out
Yeah.
for a little bit. All right. I don't even know if
Yeah.
I'll
He's
stick
getting
around.
picked up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cody. If it makes you feel any better, if Todd plays up, I'll deck him. All right? Look, he might be big to you guys, but yeah, I'm not worried. So no picking on my kid brother's friends.
All right. Whatever. So
Do what you want at school, but here, not under my
Genuinely
watch.
comforted, like you can see him like recalibrate. And it's like, okay, like he's like, okay, I'm safe here. Okay.
Yeah, because regardless of anything else, Dylan's got like a good year and a half at least
Yeah.
of age and hormones powering his body.
Okay,
so-
he relents a little, but he goes quiet, which is a little out of character for Cody.
When everyone sits down, I sort of lean over to Cal and say, I don't know how he managed this, but this is awesome.
Callum like
so funny.
puts his thumbs up. He's like,
these are your friends?
So,
Schadenfreude is a word I learned early.
can you say that again?
People enjoy my suffering, is what I'm trying to say. Brings some sort of satisfaction.
all right, it's time. You ready to enter a world of wonder? The world.
Are you hungover?
What's it to you? Cody?
I'm just curious.
You gonna tell your parents?
Of course he does. He always does.
No.
All right.
It's atmosphere, Cody. It's fine.
Okay. I'm cool. I'm cool. We're cool.
Rule
We're all
number
cool.
1.
Yeah.
No snitching. Or you're out.
Snitches.
Get stitches.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Very well.
You should be used to that. Same as school rules, yeah?
All right, guys. It's Zozo time. Welcome to a world of adventure as we enter the land of Zozo, the land of adventure. This is a realm of majesty and beauty that has recently come under attack by a great terror. We, of course, have had an invasion of the abyssal dreadspawn, who have been rampaging without any check in the southern parts of the kingdom, but have recently destroyed the far watchtower and are pushing north. In the previous session, our adventurers hung out with a really cool foxy lady. They journeyed past their friend's town, Crosstown, and they headed to the north, knowing that they had to escape Vorath the Runebringer and bring a message all the way to the queen and the prince of the kingdom that Vorath was back. This led them past Crosstown Tower, where they of course met Lieutenant Amelia Blackthorn, the noblest of knights of the Crimson Guard, who was gone to Crosstown with supplies. They had a wonderful bonding time over a campfire, learning a little bit about each other before Kat was sent to the Storm Maiden Temple, a place of electric ladies, to deliver their message with the hope that they will be able to slow down Vorath. And now we pick up with our adventurers Celestia, Pockets, and Oswald as they are setting out north, heading towards Midnight Lamp, the northernmost tower of the southern continent. But something strange happened. The day prior, Kat smelt something on the air, heard the sounds of footsteps following the group. As they set out, I would like you all to make perception. We're going to make some acuity checks.
Ooh, old habits die hard.
Yeah, but old habits do that. To make some acuity and wisdom.
Oh boy. Security wisdom.
Yeah, that's the part I'm struggling with. The dice cam finding it. Oh,
You got it.
where is it? E.
Yeah, you got it.
It's there. Okay.
What was the
The
What's the
challenge
chance?
level is 3.
Yeah. Owner.
Nice. Fail.
Yeah. Dang.
Hello.
Have you?
Oh, is it me as well?
Yep.
No.
I was about to say, Dragon, good sort of assumption that you weren't making this check even though I didn't say it. Yeah, so the party mostly are on a web at Celestia. You see movement in the tree line, behind you, following you.
I whip my head around. I try to spot it.
You see movement, a shape flittering from tree to tree, tracking your every movement.
I say, friends, I hear something.
What's that?
I'm not sure.
Something
Large.
I get a little bit closer.
And knowing that their cover has finally been blown, a lithe elf, a slender, delicate elf.
No. I was thinking, like, because I was reading over the character sheet, I was seeing, like, could my character be, like, just super jacked? Like really, really strong, like just big, muscle. Like
They're like an elf.
yeah, I know, but
Have
like
you read Lord of the Rings?
That's not
yeah,
how
I mean,
elves are
like,
built.
whether I have or I haven't is irrelevant. I'm just like, I want to be like, my character's meant to be like really.
Oh my god, you're
buff,
such
like-
a hunk of steak.
But
That sounded like a compliment.
that sounds
meant it like
very saucy for a
you're-
14-year-old.
I meant it like you're a human piece of beef.
well,
Possibly like a cake.
we can tell.
Looks a little too proud of insulting you to your face.
But
because he's got protection.
It's also the moment of like one of these people has experience insulting other people. One of them does not. You are a beef, sir. You appear to be a beef.
May I also interject at this point? We haven't acquired experience, which, if you refer to the rules, we should have been gifted at the end of our last session.
Wait.
I didn't know you were
Our
like this all the
character's
time.
Statistics.
Okay, this is a good point to stop. All right, so every session we get 1 experience point.
Huzzah!
And then I'm going to ask, did you accomplish a goal in our session that your party set out to accomplish?
I picked a pocket or two.
No, no, it's got to be meaningful for the whole group.
We made it to the tower, right? Met the lady whose
Yeah.
name I've forgotten.
You successfully found
that,
out
yeah.
the cause of the missing people.
Yeah.
And you begin to take the message and you made it to Crosstown Tower. Absolutely. 1 experience to all of you. That's 2 experience.
Oh, great.
Do I get experience?
Sure, you can have 2 experience as well.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so now the third one would be if you sort of played your character in a way that reinforced their personality traits. But for the first session, as you're learning, we're not going to do that one. As you start to get used to your character, then we'll start to make sense of that. You got 2 points. The sheet says what you can buy with them. Go nuts.
Yeah. Alas, 1 away from a trait.
You can certainly save them up.
Okay.
You get some every session. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
cool.
Okay, where were we?
So we let Meg change your character, so I think it's only fair. So, and from the tree line, sensing their cover is blown, the elven ranger, sunlight glistening upon their large muscles, steps out from the tree line.
You have to press show. There you go.
Litharium, describe yourself.
Good lord, what is that monstrosity stepping out from the forest? A boar has
What
been
has-
following us.
What has Elrond done? Litharium steps out from behind the trees. It's daytime.
It's midday, yeah.
Midday, yeah. The sun glistening off his rippling pectorals and swelling biceps. He has this long, luscious blonde hair and a very sharp, straight jawline and these long, pointed ears. He says, I apologize. I didn't mean to startle anybody.
You were following us. How long for, Celestia?
Oh, I don't think for that long. You have beautiful hair.
Oh, thank you. I bathe in only the finest spring water to keep it moist. I apologize. I wasn't sure if you were the party that our elders spoke of when they sent me here. But I see now that I am in fact correct.
I stride forwards.
What business would an elf have in this area? What brings you here?
He sort of toys with this sort of pendant that's hanging around his neck. He says, I have been sent, as I mentioned, by our elders, our high seers, to find you, for they fear that I
may be required for your journey ahead. I have broken a lifetime oath of peace to join you on this mission, as I fear it may be a danger to all things, including my beloved forest.
And with a grace, a cleric steps forward with a spring in his step, extending his hand to clasp firmly with Lotharium's.
Like claps it in midair and
Brother.
There is an unexpected and formidable strength in his thin human arms, relatively thin human arms.
was it the Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes. Litharium of the elves.
You son of a witch.
How is old Madarath going?
Madareth does as well as he can in his waxing years.
Oh, but the elves ever do age so gracefully. We would be honored to have one of your noble people joining us in our quest for peace. I myself have sworn an oath of peace that has lasted some 23 years since the great bloodshed of the last uprising. I too know the pain of staining your hands in dirty work, but this is a noble endeavor that is beyond all other consequences.
You're all awfully quick to trust a stranger who would follow us and not make himself known. Good intentions. Pah! I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, and he looks heavy to me.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry.
Did you say, oh, I am?
So heavy.
I'm sorry. This glorious form drives me to tears. And this quest is far too important. Please, I do humbly apologize for my discretion thus far. I will endeavor to move forward with the utmost clarity.
I have known Endrax for many years, and I will trust his judgment.
Yes, as we have had this bond of brotherhood for decades, Oswald. It is wise that you trust me when I say the elves mean us no harm. But you, Pockets, you are a thief, and yet you would call question on one as noble as Lotharium. You can see by the bearing of his stature, by the way his golden hair falls upon his muscular shoulders and collarbones. You can see he is a man of noble
I
manners.
like the idea that there is just no wind, but my hair is fluttering.
Both you and Celestia, just like golden hair just floating in midair. Yeah, I get it. You're all very eager to point out his stature, but I have become very accustomed over my painful life that sometimes those that look innocent are indeed not. So I will, of course, follow suit and respect your leadership, but know that I reserve my own judgment for the time being.
Zardian, it's quite all right. Such beautiful nobility as mine is sure to accept and expect such suspicion from one who has lived such a life as Pockets. It is my burden to bear.
And Hendrax strides the steps and closes the distance between Pockets and himself, bringing his voice down to a level that is more within earshot for the two. And he offers his hand to clasp Pockets's in a firm gesture of friendship. Pockets. He's lowered his voice down. You called me leader, but I am not that. I am just a brother among peers, a counsel of peace in these times, and I trust your bearing and your judgment. So, do me this favor, friend. He's offering his hand as Pocket's leaving it open. You take it. He clasps it with two hands and pulls it in, and he says, use those keen eyes of yours and watch this elf. And if he misbehaves, we as a group will give him such an uproarious spanking. He will regret it.
Indeed we will.
All
I
right.
shall keep an eye keen on the stranger.
It is time for us to journey on. The road is long and the dread spawn cannot be far behind us. Ranger Litharium, have you seen them trailing us?
Have I seen them trailing? Yes. Yes. I believe I may not have seen them, but I definitely sensed them. I heard them. I heard their name on the wind.
Yes, I've heard it. It's awful. It's like... It's rather painful to the ears.
How do they introduce themselves to their mothers? But yes, I believe there are some close behind.
We shall make haste then.
Yes.
Everyone, Oswald, hitch up your robe. This will be speed walking at the minimum.
Just like old times. Very well. Welcome to the group, young Litharium.
Thank you. I will endeavor to be an upstanding member of this
Hi.
venturing
May I call you young? It's a force of habit. I may be a young peers, finally, once again. Come, everyone. We must set off with all haste.
And he does indeed lift up his robe slightly and start jogging off in the direction.
And once again, revealing the unexpectedly
goes.
powerful calf muscles of a once rower, or like there's just big calves on very bony legs.
Between the two of you, you won't have skipped leg day.
Never.
Dost thou hoist, brother?
With the journey moving on, the party must make some rolls.
Oh.
How? Well, in this instance, I'm going to get you all to make fitness, strength checks. Is pure physicality with a focus on your fitness.
It's like
Challenge level
Challenge level
like
2.
you know.
3 for me.
It's challenge 2.
Challenge 2.
Challenge 2.
Challenge 2.
2.
So that's
It's doable. It's doable. It's not great, but it's doable.
Hang on, how many dice have you got? You have 2 dice.
I am.
So what?
Oh no, you oh wow, you have 2. You have 2. You have 2.
Yeah, no, I have 2 because I have 1 and
Yep,
1.
yep.
So I may have
It's
done.
all water weight.
Good
The
luck.
old man succeeds.
No. So fails beautifully.
Are you? Wait, hang on a second. You have 1 point in strength, and yet you're supposed to be so swole.
Well, I don't know. These are just like the numbers on the sheet here. I don't know. I'm just going with what. It's just, I figured like, yeah, my character is really strong, so
Oh,
we
because
should
you
be
made
able
the
to.
character sheet.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that change.
What are you adept in?
What? What's this here? What do we got here? Reflexes.
Reflexes, yeah, reflexes. Finesse, yeah.
And wisdom. Wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Seems to be these are the higher numbers on the sheet. So
Yeah.
Okay. As you were.
these are finesse muscles. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that like most bodybuilders aren't actually that strong, so I'm gonna guess that like it's all for show or something.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Maybe elves are just like, you know, birds are like lighter than thin bones and stuff.
Well-
Like maybe you just have like bad muscles because you're an elf, so they just suck. So like,
well, elves don't need to sleep, right? So I just use that time training.
yeah, but like what I'm saying is you got big jacked muscles, but like, what if like, you know how a monkey can like rip a man's arm off, but they're not that big?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like maybe elves are the opposite. They just have big muscles, but they suck.
This is a really in-depth conversation.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are you like accidentally reactionary world building to the fact that this meathead pushed his way into our game?
Look,
Yeah, kind of. All right, let's get back to it.
yeah.
I think it's fantastic. We should keep it like this.
With the party journeys on, traveling for some time. Hours pass and the sun begins to fall, but one member of their group falls behind. Used to darting from tree to tree and waiting, checking left and right to see if anyone can see them before advancing to the next tree, Litharium is unaccustomed to a full sprint over long distances on a mountain. And in the distance, as the group is forced to slow down their pace to keep up with Litharium, you hear it.
Sends a chill down my spine every time.
With a panting, Litharium, can I get you to make a check to spot for some villains? You can choose what you'd like to look around with or do something with.
I will use. If I would use, like, have I? Well, either way, it's going to be. I will use. So I picked the trait.
You pick the skill, and I give you a trait.
Okay, I will go with. I'll go with acuity then.
Okay, and I will pair it with wisdom as you're in the wilderness.
Yes.
Acuity wisdom challenge level is 2 at this stage.
2.
Nice.
Yeah, 3.
2. 3. Yeah.
3 successes.
The tree has hidden your
Oh,
success.
no.
Here you go.
Once again, the wilderness is my downfall.
Litharium looks back, and there sees the first of them. An advanced scout, the abyssal dreadspawn, those equipped for ranging and hunting, the ones who have been sent by Vorath to track you down and stop you reaching the kingdom. The first of the number have caught up with you due to their slow pace, and in this woodland clearing is where we're gonna do our first combat, everyone.
Oh boy! Villains, let me get my card.
All right, so it's combat time. Sorry to jump in and like ruin the immersion, but you guys haven't done it before, right?
No.
I have studied since our last session.
You didn't even know what this game was 2 days ago.
I've been researching it. There was nothing else to do in my house.
Where? Where did you find
Nothing
this?
else to do in your life.
I might have borrowed from someone at the mall when they weren't looking.
Oh my God! Thief in real.
Wait. Rail stole something?
No, they just were. It was in a shop, and I.
Cody.
What? I didn't take it out of the shop. I just hid in the corner.
Oh my god, dude, that's like, yeah.
It stayed in the shop. I didn't. It's still there. I can't buy it yet, but I'll get there. It's like I'm reading it in advance, but I'm going to pay for it
Library tactics.
eventually.
I mean,
Okay,
I
well-
think it's pretty badass, but that's just me anyway.
It was bad.
Well, you know,
Whoa.
you might
no,
say-
it was until he said he sat on the floor of the shop and read the book in the shop. That's lame.
Yeah.
as
Would it
anything.
make
Don't
it
tell that
cooler if
down.
I told you that the chick who runs the bookshop kind of has a thing for me, probably?
When you say thing, do you mean like she just sort of let you do it? Because
Wait,
do you think maybe because she likes you or thinks she thinks you're younger
whoa,
than you
whoa.
actually
He
are?
says
Cody.
I look like her grandson and lets me read whatever I want.
Okay, that's totally not as cool as I thought it was.
It's so much less cool. Oh,
Yeah, go back to the
Still with a
stealing part.
lady of any age is still with a lady. It will gradiate and translate as required. I am probably hoping.
How can you be more of a dork
Whoa.
outside of school?
There's 2 things we need to get across with, first of all, before we go to combat. I'm going to get off this tangent, but I do want to say, 1, chick, kind of disrespectful to an older lady. Just saying, that's a woman. Second thing, way too old for you, man.
Well,
Don't try that route. It's not okay. All right.
So combat.
Combat. All right.
That's like hitting stuff, yeah?
Yeah, basically.
I'm sure you'll be a natural.
That's what I was going to say, actually. Thank you. Like, yeah.
So the way it works is I've put down, and Dylan piles out these little like handmade cardboard hexes that you can tell he has made. So he's been in his room cutting them out of cardboard. Callum recognizes like some of the cereal boxes from their house and like a pizza box. There's a couple of like oil drips on some of the squares. and it's actually got stuff like drawn on it. Like he's colored it. Like not
There's
super
a bit of love in this.
Yeah, it's not super insanely done like he's an artist, but it's also not crap. Like he hasn't just crayon scribbled on it. Like it's fully colored. Like the grass ones are fully colored to be grass colored. The dirt ones. And he's kind of got some like toilet paper rolls and put some stuff on them as trees and like puts them out. And for the first time, he's got this little bit of shyness to him when he puts them out that he's like,
This is so cool. It's just like the pictures. Oh my god, I didn't think we'd have a map.
You'll get Papa John's?
Wow, you have my undying respect. Oh my god, that is so cool. Look
okay,
at the
so,
detail.
Easy rails. Come on. It's cardboard.
It's pretty cool, man.
It's really cool.
Thanks, guys. I also, after I heard what your characters were, have you heard of this company? I think it's called, they're from the UK. There's a shop in town in the mall that stocks some of their stuff. Games Workshop. Anyway, I've got some metal minis that they made for like, there's a wizard with a machine gun and they're kind of cool.
How do you afford those? They're so cool.
We can have guns in this game?
Not in my game.
Dude, do you have the Birdman of Alcatraz?
They haven't been released yet.
I've heard things.
Regiments of Renown won't come out for like 10 years.
Yeah? You've got pewter minis here.
Have I?
Yeah, like Dylan's got pewter.
Oh yeah, Dylan's got some pewter minis that completely don't match the characters, but
Cody's
he's got like
grabbing
5
them, 'cause
random
they're
pewter
still the
miniatures.
expensive, like
Yeah.
and Cody's like admiring them, like with eyes that just scream, like, "Oh my god, if I could get these one day!" Like,
And this is like super rudimentary era, like.
This is cutting edge technology. Do you not understand? See that theme? They pour the molten. Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Look at the detail. Oh, I wish we could paint these right now.
Kinda cool.
I digress. Combat.
Do you seriously like this all the time?
Yeah.
It's called Joy. Maybe you've heard of it. Oh,
You know what?
I forgot. You squeeze it out of people like they're
Oh my
flipping
Cody.
toothpaste.
Look, that's
Cody,
me
chill.
living my joy, all right? Just because you get hurt about it doesn't.
Hey, for the first time, I kind of think his nerdy enthusiasm is both well placed and kind of cool. So you're okay with me right now, Cody.
Okay.
Anyway, combat. We got to do some combat, so we're gonna get back into the world. If you have any questions, just ask. It works the same way. You all have a combat skill. You get your dice. That's how you roll. But first, you've got to pick an action, and you've got these cards with you. They're like references. I wrote them up, so I'm sorry if you can't read my handwriting, but they don't have a product for them yet. But yeah, you can.
Better than my teachers.
They're in the book as well, but I've only got the one book, and the librarian doesn't let me use the photocopier anymore after the ass incident.
Oh, hey,
What?
I could put in a good word for you.
I don't think that's gonna make her unsee what I did 1,000 copies of.
Oh my gosh, that was you.
I saw that. That was good.
It's a lot of paper, man.
Most well-known ass in town. All right, so you've got your cards, and we're gonna do it. Let's go to combat. As the Abyssal Dreadspawn begin to advance, moving up. My friends, the time to draw blades has come. Before any of you become injured, I can save you. But for now... And as he's speaking, Hendrax is taking a few steps back. His hand clamps up on a large tree. He's like, I must uphold my pact of peace. And he just climbs up the tree. And it's like perched up in the top of a tree looking down at you all as these 3 horrible little like hellish horned monsters. They're diminutive. They're sort of 2/3 the size of a man. Begin to advance on you.
Godspeed, you old pacifist.
Litharium, as he draws his bow, he turns and takes a very, like, powerful, like, wide-footed stance and reaches for Hendrax. It's like,
Brother, though you may be above me, please do not look down on me for what I'm about to do.
and he turns and, like, notches an arrow for the...
You get used to it. The feeling that somewhere is watching over you. Let's go.
and I hold a knife up, and it glints in the moonlight.
So, we enter combat, and in combat, we only have, in this encounter, minions. There are no leaders here. And that means minions move, and then players move. So all the minions make their move, and you all get to react to it. And as we're using abstracted movement, it basically means we're just moving a hex. That's all you can move is one hex. So after we do that, the monsters can all move a square, and then you can all move a square. Then the monsters will say what they're doing, and you say what you're doing. In no particular order, there's no initiative. We don't get stressed about that. The order is always you have the upper hand on monsters or minions, and leaders always have the upper hand on you. So, from the edge of the wilderness, the 3 abyssal dreadspawn, snarling and hissing, all defensively move towards you, sort of blades and claws raised as they all take a step closer to you, curling around the large tree, the canopies, as they get ever closer. Now you all get to choose to move. You don't have to, you can, and it's in any order.
Here's an improvisational question. Could I, in theory, move and forego a later action to do a stealth check for a nice effect?
No.
Okay.
Because what I would like to say is, Jazza,
Yeah.
for the very first moment of combat, for the game we are developing together, for the system we are playtesting, you just said, can you make up a rule on the spot that we haven't discussed, rather than actually playtesting what we've already been working on?
Is that a problem to the first impression we will
The very first time we're ever showing off combat.
ever?
Yeah.
I don't like it when Daddy and Daddy fight.
In theory, maybe, but you know what I
Yeah.
should have said rather than that hilarious tirade, as it was funny. Unfortunately, being that the beasts are mere meters from you at this stage, there is no way for you to slip away because they came for you. They knew where you were. They're hunting you.
Yeah, tirade was funnier.
Yeah.
Oswald, Celestia, we surround them before they surround us. I'll take their flank.
Very well.
I duck off to my side, leaving Celestia and Litharium standing in the middle. Oswald to the side.
Well, I never turn away in the face of danger, if I can say it correctly.
What is danger?
A danger.
Sounds delicious.
I'd like to move forward, please, closer to my enemy.
Oh dear.
Oh no, everyone's just...
You had a hand in it from
Andrax has fallen to his death.
To touch to.
I will
Andrax is, of course, in a tree. Yes. Thank you.
Pop me one over the other way. Yeah, just then.
Oh, you've moved adjacent.
Yes.
Celestia moves up into contact with one of the Abyssal Dreadspawn, drawing steel.
Correct.
All right.
Let me know when you've all moved.
I will move into the midst of the party.
We need to
Down.
You get one, so you can get it.
Crawls on his belly.
Sidling away
Hands are
from the
hard.
enemy.
Yes. I move one square closer to the midst of the party.
All right, everyone's moved?
I will stand my ground, and on the highest elevated point, if there's a rock or something around, I will move to that position, or I will move towards that position.
Okay, so you might want to pop a step sort of back to keep it optimal range.
Yes.
Go that way.
Yeah, just back that way.
Cool.
Back it up. I take a glorious step backwards.
And now we enter the action declaration step. This is where you would choose one of these cards. Minions have 2 abilities they can choose from. And these minions are opting to do a reckless advance, which has a special trait which says before any dice are rolled, they can move 1 step closer to a target, as long as nobody is already next to them or adjacent to them. So this one can't move, but these two of them curl around the tree. Well, the one that is already in contact with Celestia readies weapons to attack. The other two push around the left side of a tree, trying to get a drop on the squishier members of the party. And now you guys pick something to do.
I'll go first. That's okay. Celestia draws her blade, and she would like to recklessly attack.
Excellent.
Right. I will draw the attention of the ones going around the side of the tree, using an energy blast to
Ooh.
confound them.
Very good.
Lotharium will stand proudly, his hair glistening in the moonlight, and notch a second arrow into his bowstring and draw back, his biceps swelling, his back rippling in the moonlight. And he's going to shoot at the two coming up on the right with twin shot.
Twin shot. So any abilities that require expenditure of resources, the cost is marked on the top right, and that will be coming from your spirit. And your spirit is restored when you have a hearty meal and a good sleep somewhere comfortable.
Excellent. So
That's this one. Yes. You know what? That's a very good point. You haven't said anything, but it's a very good point. There needs to be a spot for maximum and current with all of the numbers.
Gotcha.
That's a good point. So, Pockets.
I will charge ahead, but not directly to the minions. I will be going beside and behind Celestia.
Okay, and now we resolve everything, and it all happens simultaneously, which means any effects that you might be able to do in combat that result from your roll take place either in the weapon effect section, which is straight away, or after, basically. So if you stun someone, they don't have to neg from their current roll. That wouldn't make much sense. Now, Oswald, which one of these two, the two Abyssal Dreadspawn going around the left-hand side, which one are you targeting?
The one closest to the tree. So the one right in the middle of the three minions.
Okay, and twin shot, I believe do you roll against both?
You may
Yep.
You may apply your combat roll to an additional target that is adjacent to your primary target.
Amazing.
If your target is S
Short
or M.
medium range? Yep.
I think-
Yeah, that's cool. Short or medium range, which is basically 2 or 3 squares away from you, which it is. They are.
Nice.
So you get +2 extra dice.
Oh.
Bows are very good at being bows, but they're very bad at being close up.
Yeah.
So
are bows,
you
not
get your
swords.
dice, which is your combat skill. In your cases, with your bow, it would be reflexes is your paired trait. So it's your bows and your reflexes.
Bows,
Everyone else know what theirs are.
+2.
Intelligence?
So yours is either wisdom or intelligence. I don't know which weapon you picked, but it will be either, and they're both the same for you, so it's not going to matter.
Mine's assassin weapons. It's plus.
Well, yours will be. Where's your sheet? Show me your sheet. Haha, your particular weapon, your dagger, is a finesse weapon, so you're using finesse. Yep.
3 for short sword.
Yep, and then you're using reflexes for your blades, I believe.
Another 3.
Cool. Awesome. So we all roll, but for the sake of ease of math and thought, we generally roll them into sort of compartmentalized groups. So we know that Jazza is neither being attacked nor is attacking, which means there's no need for him to roll anything.
What's my damage, by the way? I haven't got that written down.
It's, I'll have
The
to get up
dagger.
a chart. I'll let you know when it's
We'll
relevant.
do that with you. 'Cause it's the same for me.
Okay, so basically what happens is it's not actually relevant because neither being attacked nor attacking. If you are being attacked, you still roll your roll for the thing you've chosen, and it just counts as a defense. So you can't deal damage. You can only do damage if your card is in range or your weapon's in range or the target you picked. Okay. But if you're being attacked, you still roll, and it becomes your defensive roll. Okay. So I'm just getting the weapons for you. It's not a rule book I'm looking through. It's Google Drives and spreadsheets. So it's a little bit less clean. And you have a dagger, a boot knife, which does 1 damage.
But it's piercing?
Piercing, I think it's piercing 1. What's your... Can I see your 0+ card? because that's the 0 cost one. Yeah. Oh, no. So it's like piercing, say piercing 2.
Okay.
This may be changed. So very, very low damage, but high piercing.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to roll combats that are 1 by 1. The simplest one is, of course, Celestia fighting the Abyssal Dreadspawn.
Yay.
So we both roll, and you chose to...
Reckless attack, which means I get -1 to my weapon skill roll.
But you get +1 to your damage.
Yes,
So
correct.
you have 5 dice total.
Correct.
And the Abyssal Dreadspawn, it has a dice roll of 6.
Ah!
Ta-da! I get 3 successes.
I got 4.
4 successes. So in this instance, Celestia has successfully hit, because it is your skill in combat that allows you to effectively hit or not hit your target in a duel, not your armor. So you have successfully hit. Celestia, describe your attack.
Celestia pulls out her beautiful blade and slashes across the tummy of her foe.
And you have a short sword, did you say?
Yes.
So Celestia's short sword, and as I read them to you, probably worth adding this on. So using a reflex weapon. So this is called an arming sword, and it does 3 damage and has no traits.
Yes.
The Abyssal Dreadspawn has 0 armor, thus takes 3 damage.
Plus the extra damage
Plus
from
the
my
extra
card.
1. You do
Yes.
4 damage.
Hooray!
Oh, there's a nasty gash. The Abyssal Dreadspawn. His stomach is sliced open, and you see some like whites and grisly insides start
Excellent.
to spill out as he takes a very nasty gash.
Brutal.
And next up, we're going to move to you guys. So we'll start with the one that is being attacked by Oswald. This is the Abyssal Dreadspawn, which also, now, while it can't deal damage, it still rolls that combat roll that it declared. So it gets 6 dice, and it got 1 success.
All right. Well, Oswald is going to give out a brief, sharp chant that echoes and ripples through reality as he lets off this energy blast from his staff. And he will get 3 successes.
So you have a staff, and what was the card you used again?
Energy blast.
Which is just your generic
It's
ranged
generic.
ability. Excellent. So you, I'm on the wrong thing, have a staff. Ah, your crozier. So you do 1 damage at melee range and 3 damage. So you can, you basically, wizards and spellcasters use focuses, and when there's things next to them, they are interrupted to varying degrees. So, for example, a spell book is the absolute worst for being interrupted, but a wand is actually better at spell slinging immediately adjacent to you. A staff is somewhere in between. So you have 1 at melee range or close range, but at any other range you do 3 damage. So you shoot an energy blast that smacks across. This bolt of force hits the Abyssal Dreadspawn, and it takes a nasty burning scald of energy across its body.
Aha! Take that, vile vermin.
Just when Litharium's 2 arrows loose.
So I roll all of these.
Yeah.
The thing.
Yeah, man. You
So that's what's I'm trying to beat 4.
You're trying to beat 3.
3. Okay. No, I mean the dice are meant to be 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got 4.
So the left one keeps its score, which was 1, because you only roll once per thing.
Okay.
The right, the one closest to the tree, sorry, the one Oswald shot, that one got 1. The new one rolled a 3, which means you beat both of them.
Okay.
And your twin shot lets you deal the damage of your bow against both of them.
Oh, that's really cool.
And your longbow does 3 damage, right? So, hold on. An arrow flies from the bow, and the first sinking heartily into the shoulder of one of the Abyssal Dreadspawn, the other sailing directly in a fatal arc towards the wounded Dreadspawn, reeling from Oswald's energy blast. Todd, how do you want him to die?
just like he goes to, like, as he turns and he sees this, majestic figure standing in the moonlight, he goes to, like, scream, but then the arrow just, like straight through.
And it drops like a sack of potatoes, just limp and heavy to the ground. And I can remove this from the board.
Oh, it's just like that new movie Rambo.
I mean, I hate to say it, but that was really cool.
Hey, man, well done. You did it.
First blood.
Yeah.
It's also
I mean,
like
if
that.
you didn't give me a blood oath first, technically. But
How many people have Cody killed?
So far none.
Okay.
But like his character backstory is
Just,
my character backstory is far darker than yours. So I would say many souls have suffered under the glint of my harsh blade in the alleys of Rivenfell.
just stop. It's just painful.
My character is cooler than your character, okay?
Sorry.
back in our world of combat. Back in our world of combat! I'm controlling this now. So that's that round of combat resolved. Everyone's done their thing. We have 2 wounded Abyssal Dreadspawn remaining, and they're going to make their move.
Whoa.
The Abyssal Dreadspawn on far away, the one that's now alone, whose comrade has died, is going to walk and stomp over his corpse to the exact same square his friend was just sitting in. And that's all their movements in the free movement round. Would you guys like to move? Very good show. You're doing well, says Hendrax.
Right. They tried to flank us. I will proceed to flank them. Ha ha! With my sprightly youth.
Very good.
I move 1 in this direction.
I believe I've caught myself in an awkward position here. You have them trapped between the trees, and I can't reach them. Where would I be of most help? I shall join you, in fact, Oswald, and with the 2 very weak, though muscular in different areas, people off into the distance, I will step and prepare to intercede.
Happy with movement?
To exactly where I was in the last round.
Yes, I will hold my ground.
Very
where I am.
good. The monsters declaring their bloodthirstiness, spotting Celestia armored in the adventurer's garb with plated gear underneath a tabard, steel glinting in the twilight hours, seeing the armor covering you. One of them is going to pry and tear, while the other one uses their reckless advance. The one on the left, the one closest to the tree, uses this action so they can get another move, making them adjacent to Celestia. The 2 close. Now there are 2 Dreadspawn next to Celestia.
Clever.
One of them.
Don't worry, I've got your back, sister.
Now you get to choose your actions.
I no longer need to charge. This foolish imp has come right towards me. Oh my god, this foolish imp is right in front of me. Oh my god. I hate to do it, but I have to do it. I will cut the purse of the imp as it approaches Celestia and is focused on my companion. There are 2 people with ranged attacks preparing to hit it from behind, so I might as well hit it from behind too.
Isn't that easier to do when they're dead? I don't.
Not when there's competition.
No, I don't know. It just seems.
You think I
That's all. Yeah.
think I trust you with my prospective gold? Never. I know why you wormed your way into our party. You elves and your elvish ways, I don't know.
Somehow naturally oiled bodies.
You elves and your glistening. Now glisten up.
Somehow always posing.
Feeling confident and now outnumbering the enemy on the flank, I am going to use Reckless Attack.
Ooh, okay.
Can I do that magically?
No.
No.
So you can only do that with a weapon. However, your staff, for future reference, staves are special of all the magic weapons. They have the capacity for bonking enabled. So you can use that with your... So the other focuses you can't. They're too fragile or break. The staff actually has a trait that allows you to bonk with it, and basically you can use it with the regular attacks. It doesn't do much damage. Does 2 damage. Still not bad. So if you were close to them, you could bonk them with your staff.
I say this just because my wife will hate me if I don't, but I would like to use my action to bonk him on the nog.
Do it.
Cool. Yeah, that explains the context of those ones, and I am logging that away for future reference.
So,
All right. Well, using that same mentality, I'm going to brandish just a little speck of my power, and I'm going to use Flame Burst.
Ooh.
Hapless foe.
Okay.
As I said, most of that probably out of shot of the camera.
So,
It's very hard when you're...
have we Celestia?
Celestia this round she recklessly attacked last round, so this time she's going to cautiously attack. She's being a little bit
Yeah,
intimidated.
there's two attacking you. It makes sense to play defensive.
Yes.
Dragon.
I will shoot an arrow at the one closer to me. I will just
Very reasonable.
save some abilities here.
Yes, very creative elf with a bow.
Which one are you cautiously
I
attacking?
can't. I have to recover from my amazing last round. Like,
The same.
The one in between the tree. So with only Celestia targeting the wounded one in between the tree, and everyone else targeting the one that freshly moved towards Celestia, let's resolve Celestia's attack. So
Let's.
6 dice versus 7. You are chasing 5 successes.
Oh, that's 3 from her.
With the horrible agility, the abyssal dreadspawn darts under your guard, diving its sharp talons in the weak, soft areas between your plate, scraping away at your flesh with desperately clawing fingers. This attack has -2 to its damage. So the usual damage of 3 is reduced to 1, but it has Pierce 3, which means it ignores up to 3 points of armor. How much armor do you have? How much defense?
I have 2.
So this attack ignores all of your armor and just does 1 damage to you.
Okay. So that's 1 hit of health.
1 hit point of health dropped. I do have to have a minor moment to be like, oh, the lack of swinginess. The lack of swinginess.
These are cunning bastards.
The other one, however, this one has moved in with its reckless advance, and it's going to roll its dice. So all of you with your attacks are looking to beat 3.
All right. Let's go.
So let's hear them one by one, because this is all new. We won't go as deep dive, I think, into the specific cards the more we do combat, because this is brand new. It's the first time. So I'm going to start with the least violent one, Pockets. Jazza, what does your ability do?
My ability is Cut Purse. I get +1 to my weapon's skill roll. My skill roll is 6, which is now 7. My damage is -2, but if I hit, and if it's the first time I hit an opponent with this ability, I get to roll for loot.
Okay.
Okay. I roll
You're trying to beat 3.
4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay, and now because this is -2 damage and your dagger doesn't do enough damage, so for people who might be going, daggers suck, daggers are all about positioning and backstabbing, and they get bonus damage on their abilities. So they have a really low base damage but really high armor pierce, but then you use your abilities to like ignore armor and get bonus damage, like attacking from behind does extra damage, things like that. So that's how daggers fight. Anyway, so you get to roll 2d6.
Yay!
And I'm going to tell you what you get.
Oh boy, you got a loot table?
No. It's all up here, baby. A 4.
2 and a 2.
Probability is relatively low. I'm going to say, with a swipe of a blade, a pocket, a little pouch is sliced off this dreadspawn. Pockets deftly grabs it and pulls it back in. And you instinctively know in your gut that this dreadspawn would have, before dying, would have destroyed this small scrap of parchment that seems important. Perhaps it's orders or directions or intel. But you know that, judging from the one that you've just seen die as he was shot in the eye, as he was like in his final death throes, he destroyed this pouch on his body with a little blast of hellish magic. So, you've stolen this. Now we will move on to Oswald.
It briskly tucks into one of my pockets.
Just gonna say that was kind of cool.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just beginning.
Why can't you be like this in real life?
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen. Cool is relative to perception. And whatever it is you're looking for, maybe the way you're looking isn't cool.
I mean, cool
You know?
is relative to what people think, and people generally think that you're not cool.
People are all...
Bottle it for 1 second, guys. Like 1 second. I can see this is happening. I can see this needs to happen. But something else needs to happen, which is Oswald needs to roll his dice.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, go.
Thank you. It was cool.
Oswald.
And that time you killed that dude was pretty cool, too.
What does your flame attack do?
That's all you get.
I want to attack, man. Come on, guys. Let's go.
All right. Stand back, pockets. It's time to finish them off. With 2.
And what happens when you declare it's time to finish them off?
I will spend a knack point
Okay.
to match.
Which means we privately roll off. This is unrelated. So these combat rolls 3. We just do a private little roll off because they matched. Boom.
Secret roll.
I got 4.
How dare you?
Oh boy.
Oswald levels his staff, mutters an arcane word, and a blast of fire shoots off, perfectly cutting between 2 trees, flying another 30 foot and hitting an old dead tree, and immediately immolating it with his flame burst, and a tree in the distance begins to burn. A few birds fly away.
Oswald, did you forget to put your glasses on again?
I thought there was one back there.
Letharium,
I was getting the jump on them.
roll your dice.
Very well.
Trying to beat 3.
Yes. So shoot arrow. Are they at?
Yeah, they are. Two
Plus 2
spaces away.
So yeah. That is
4. You successfully hit.
yeah.
And an arrow through the side of this beast's neck, this abyssal dreadspawn, and it throws its hands down to claw at this pouch that should be there and blast it with this magic before realizing there's nothing there, and it sinks.
I love you forever.
I blow him a kiss and tap my pocket.
Lotharium stands there, like still, like in his like the pose as he releases it, and he goes, "Don't worry, old timer, I got him."
Very well done,
Second
It was
dreadspawn.
well worth seeing if you could do it.
How very generous of you, Oswald.
Next time, I will not be so kind.
With
Don't worry, that happens as you get older.
a look of desperation. With a look of desperation, the abyssal dreadspawn makes a rapid and poor decision, and I'm going to get Celestia to make a reflexes. Actually, I'm going to get you to make a reaction reflexes roll.
I am reflexively reacting to something.
Do it.
3 successes? No, 4 successes.
4 successes.
Nice.
And challenge level was 2.
Yes.
The creature, the abyssal dreadspawn, attempts to dart out of your reach and run just full speed away. But Celestia is too fast, and in its wounded state, you may deal weapon damage to the creature for free. As you successfully stopped it from escaping. Your weapon damage is 3. It has 2 health left. So Celestia, you may cut it down as it runs.
Sorry, rolled 3 dice. So that was 6.
You don't have to roll anything.
Great.
You already did the roll. We did that.
Yay.
You get to deal weapon damage to it, which was 3.
Okay, which is 3.
So you can kill it. How would you like to murder it as it runs?
While it is fleeing, I'm going to quickly dart behind it and stab it straight through the back.
And it grabs its hands on this little
Before she could
pouch.
get away.
There's a little burning flame as the message pouch on its side disappears. I recognize that forest is awesome. Falls down. And Celestia, do you have any words?
My friends rejoice, for we have won battle this day. And she puts it sort of to the
There is the soft sound of feet alighting from a tree. Glorious first fight, my friends. The smell of spilled blood really does get my blood pumping. Hey, Oswald, reminds me of old times, but I swore I was done killing.
We'll get you back one day.
Lotharium dives in front of Hendrax to one knee, his pants barely containing his monstrous thighs.
Fuck, oh thank God.
I'm sorry. And just forgive me, brother.
We're trying to keep it monetized.
15 deaths. Wow! I'm sorry. Just realized how fast that went. Sorry. So forgive me, brother. For you to see me in such a despicable state, I can't. I barely forgive myself.
We have won more than just the battle, friends. And I pull out this parchment. We have won an important clue, it seems. And I gently hand it over to, with a very confident, sly grin, hand it over to Hendrax.
Oh, yes! Lotharium will, reach out and, grab it and step in front of him, I see. What is it?
It's a clue.
Ah, yes, it's a clue, of course.
No, I earned the clue.
My elven eyes can discern.
You heard me, because you told me I got the parchment, and I took it, so Hendrax knows it was me.
I know,
who
but
had the clue.
it's like you're the middle guy, you're the guy who brings it to the hero,
You made yourself the middle guy between me dealing with members of my party.
I'm just trying to involve you here. I'm trying.
And this was my clue that I earned.
Is he being
Such a
guys?
meathead.
This was really funny for the first second, but now can we find out what the clue says? What the note says?
All right, look.
I snatch it back from his flimsy, oily hand, because he was so greasy from having oiled up his stupid, muscly body, and I give it to Hendrax with a knowing joyousness of my expression.
Do not hate the natural skin oils of the elves.
All right, hold on. Dylan stands up. He slouchingly walks over to the sort of downstairs, the basement. The door's slightly ajar. He walks up the stairs. He pushes the door shut, turns around, walks back down, pulls his stool further out and sits sort of backwards on it, which is pretty hard to do on a round swivelly stool. But you get the gesture. He leans into the table and he says, "Hey guys, look, a really wise person once told me, school counselor, actually, that it can be really productive to talk through your issues, and you guys seem like you're having a lot of fun.
Not
but
in 1,000 years.
Oh, how do I know that was Mrs. Henderson?
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I thought you played pretty well together so far, but if we're gonna continue this session, we're gonna need to work through whatever this is, because I'm pretty sure that Pockets would get along well with a noble elf.
Perhaps he would, knowing the litheness and general gracefulness of the people, be curious as to the skills that he could acquire from
having company of someone of his race.
And perhaps Lithium Man. What was his name again?
Litharium.
Litharium. Okay, and perhaps Litharium would maybe let Pockets keep the thing that he was holding, because it's like usually elves don't snatch things.
I'm just trying to be involved in.
I know you want. I know, and like old habits die hard.
Hey, you were involved. Like, First Blood. That was really cool.
I know that was like I did that. Yeah.
You don't have to prove anything. Like, you did it. The dice did it. You know, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
And as our party talk through their teenage woes, angst, and build new friendships, maybe, we sunset on episode 3 of A Call to Quest. We will, of course, pick up with this tension turning to something else as our unlikely allies find out new things about each other, and our adventuring party gets one step closer to Midnight Lamp, the final watchtower on the southern part of the continent, so they can begin to take the story, the knowledge they've learned, the secret note they've found, onwards to the Queen and the Prince.
As
Paradise City!
Yes! Answering and heeding the call to quest is just the beginning. The journey and the end is the friends you make along the way.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us for this episode.
Yay.
First session with us, Dragon. Absolutely amazing work. Well done.
Thank you very much for
This
having me.
was
I
a
had
lot of fun. There's a lot of heart in this series. I'm enjoying
It's actually, it's like there's a juggle involved in it, but it's also really fun. Like there's a
It is.
heartfeltness to bouncing back and having this like meta narrative that's really fun to do.
It's actually-
are you saying there's a lot of improv in game mastering?
It's kind of nice, to be honest, to demo Gateway stuff in a way that we have a fallback to explore
Explaining
and
it,
react.
yeah, like
in
what would
world
happen if you rolled a
without
stealth check,
constantly
yeah.
pulling out as us, which is
Tell
cool.
you what, there'll be an assassin skill that will allow you to do it.
Thank
And it
you.
will be a combat ability. Yeah,
Awesome.
for like pulling your elven cloak above
Duck
your head.
away. Yeah, love
duck
it.
away. That's a good name for it. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, of course, to our patrons who have been scrolling across that screen. Thanks to our post-production friend Liam. One day we need to
Thanks, Liam.
make that happen in our live sessions, but for now, we're going to say thank you, and we'll see you shortly in our after party.
We shall.
So quick.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Bye.
yes.
Right, this needs to stop.